Hello everyone, I'm Cool Guy, and today we're going to review the exotic fusion rifle, Telesto. The description reads, "Vestiges of the Queen's Harbingers yet linger among Saturn's moons." Now this fusion archetype, it's like a couple of the older Future War Cult fusions. We have the Calming and the Frenzy, and also the Trials of Osiris' Exile's Curse. And I'm going to open up this review by saying it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite weapon of the Taken King so far. I've used it extensively in both PvE and PvP, and I want to show you guys how I found success with it. So let's go through the perks. Built in, we have Unplanned Reprieve. Fusion projectiles attach and detonate with a delayed void blast. Now this is a very special perk, and it's the main one. It's where we're going to spend most of our time, so we're going to come back to it. Perk 1 is Battle Runner. Kills with this weapon grant a brief boost to sprint's top speed, and I've always been a fan of this perk, and I would actually take it over most perks in the game. For 4 seconds after a kill, you move faster. You can switch weapons, do a whole bunch of stuff, and the buff's still going to be active. Any kill within that 4 seconds, it's not going to add any more time, but once the 4 seconds is up, you can kill another enemy, and it's going to activate again. In the mid-tier, all of them are pretty good options. We have Lightweight, gives +2 character agility, and that goes great with Battle Runner right out of the gate. Enhanced Battery, it gives you, I think, 5 shots instead of 4 when equipped. And then Flared Magwell, increases reload speed, and this one's okay. It's not very significant. Your reload speed is going to come from, the Gunslinger class, and also fast reload gauntlets like the Fusion Reload Gauntlet. So I would go with either Enhanced Battery or Lightweight. And our last perk is Harbinger Spark. Multi-kills with this weapon spawn orbs for your allies. And you're going to be getting a lot of double kills with the Telesto. It's great for PvE, great for trash mobs, and any shielded enemy, really. It seems like one burst in the explosion is going to take out shields regardless of the element. And unfortunately, the orbs that spawn for your allies, they're really nothing special. They move the special bar like 1/100th of the way. But hey, super energy, right? And lastly, let's talk about the Ballistics. And it goes against like a traditional review to do the Ballistics last, but I think it's one of the most important parts of this weapon and how I found success with it. First up, we have Smart Drift Control. Predictable and controllable recoil, reduced range. CQB Ballistics, greatly reduced recoil, significant reduced range. And Smooth Ballistics, increased recoil, booster range. Now here's the deal with this weapon. I mean, as we know, fusion rifles, they shoot out a burst of energy, and they used to be very good. All you day one players out there know how truly good that they were. Then Bungie introduced that fan mechanism for the energy stream. They messed with the range, and slowly but surely they were kind of left behind. And when you shoot a fusion, the energy travels, and eventually it kind of dissipates at a distance. And with close quarters combat weapons like a fusion or a shotgun, your instinct tells you to immediately add on range, add on impact, because in PvP especially, that can be the difference in gunfights, but I recommend Smart Drift Control for the Telesto. This weapon has some incredible range, and sure, as far as range goes, you're probably not going to get kills from that far. Maybe you can sneak a couple every now and then, but with how far those projectiles go, this is telling us that range is kind of built in with that Unplanned Reprieve perk. It's got 2 types of damages, an initial impact damage, and then the explosive damage from the Void Burst. You have projectiles that shoot out and stick to surfaces, and that's why I like Smart Drift Control. Keeping the stream tight and controllable is key. You want to land as many projectiles as possible, and at some of those longer distances, you're going to be aiming a little bit lower, and that upwards pop in the recoil is going to send your projectiles where you want them to go. And in the background, we have the heroic Undying Mind Strike, and just like everyone, I mean, I run and gun with this weapon, but over 50% of the time, and especially in higher level activities, I use this weapon from the air. I use my vertical space, and I want you guys to use your vertical space with this weapon. Because of how the Telesto is set up with the projectiles that fly out, the high stability, the hip fire is crazy good. It's highly accurate. And in PvP, I see some players that hate it. Some people, I'd say okay. But I like this weapon a lot in PvP for a couple reasons. And number one is that range. Don't count on it though, but putting any type of damage into an enemy and taking any portion of their health is a good thing. And number 2 is I lead with this weapon. I mean, I have it out, I'll see an enemy, and then I just shoot it his way. And I'm not looking to kill him. I'm just looking to get damage on him, because if an explosive projectile hits him, that puts you pretty much a bullet up in the gunfight. And if you think about it, say a scout does like 61 to the head. If you get some projectiles on him, maybe one, your 4-shot headshot kill turns into a 3-shot headshot kill. Things like that. Because I tend to lead with this weapon. I shoot a shot, and then I switch to my primary and look for the kill. And number 3 is that vertical space. People don't know what to do when you're jumping around corners. I mean, every corner I come around, I jump around it. Players don't expect you to be there. The amazing hip fire from this gun will do some sort of damage on them. That's all that you need. And number 4, it's a very good way to deal with campers and shotgunners, because you can shoot this thing on the ground, you can shoot it on the wall, anywhere really, and the area of effect is going to deal some damage and make them uncomfortable. And as far as shotgunners, I have a very high success rate versus them. Say someone's charging you with a shotgun. We've all been there, and generally you're backing up, you're backpedaling, trying to put good shots in, and ultimately they shotgun you down because you just can't move any quicker. But with this weapon, you can backpedal and actually jump backwards, creating space, and hip fire down on them, and you're going to land projectiles on them. And either you can switch to your primary and finish them off because they're helpless at that point. They're so far away at that point, they can't do anything. or you can just keep jumping around Telestoing them. That's what I like to do. It's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I really enjoy this weapon in PvP and PvE. Now, in PvE, it speaks for itself. It's flat out fun. It's a monster. It cleans up mobs. It spawns orbs for your teammates. It's my go-to right now. In PvP, it's decent when you run and gun with it, but again, the two things that I've had the most success with are, one, leading with the weapon and shooting it downstream, hoping to get some sort of damage on them. Then you can switch to your primary and finish them off. But the number one thing is using your vertical space and hip firing down on your enemy. It's so unbelievably accurate and so deadly when you use it that way. And I've been kind of under the weather. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and watching my video. And until the next one, I'm Cool Guy.